was Henry's first wife and Queen of England for 20 years, from 1509 until 1523. Their marriage was initially happy, but after Catherine only bore a daughter, Mary I, and suffered repeated miscarriages. Henry grew frustration and became interested in Anne Boleyn. He saw an annulment of their marriage, which triggered a split with the Catholic cross. Catherine refused to acknowledge her marriage as invalid and lived in exile until her death on January 7, 1036, legally from Conquer. Her significance in English history, their divorce was religiously transformative. Her refusal to accept the annulment from Henry VIII sparked England's separation from the Catholic cross, making the beginning of the English Revolution. As the mother of Mary I, she also influenced later religions conflict. Okay, the next is Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn was Henry VIII's second wife and a key figure in English Reformation. Henry married her after separating from the Catholic cross, hoping for a male heir. However, Anne only bore Elizabeth I and experienced repeated miscarriages. Because disappointed, Henry excused her. She was beheaded on May 1936 at the Tower of London. Her significance in English history, her marriage to Henry VIII legitimized England's separation from Rome and established the Cross of England. She gave birth to Elizabeth I, one of the England's greatest monarchs. Anne Boleyn's dramatic execution remains the pivotal moments in Tudor history. Okay, the next is Jane Seymour. Jane Seymour became Henry VIII's third wife in 1936 and the only one to give him a son, Edward VIII. She was known as an obedient wife and was feared by the king. However, she died on October 1837 due to childbirth complications. Henry grieved deeply over Jane Seymour's death, unlike his previous wife. Jane was the only one of the Henry wives buried with him after his death. Her significance in English history, she provided Henry with his only legitimate son, Edward VI, ensuring the continuation of the Tudor dynasty. Her death after childbirth highlighted the dangers of childbirth during that era. Okay, the next slide is Anne of Cleves. Anne of Cleves married with Henry VIII in 1540 as a part of a political alliance. However, Henry was not attracted to her, and the marriage was annulled after 6 months. Anne received the title the King's Sister and lived comfortably in England with property granted by Henry. She died naturally on July 1557 and was buried in Westminster by the only of the Henry wives to receive that honor. Her significance in English history, despite their short marriage, the annulment was purposeful, demonstrating Henry's political cunning in his relations with Protestant Europe. She outlived Henry and remained respected in England. Okay, for the next wife is Catherine Howard. Catherine Howard is Henry VIII's fifth wife and was a cousin of Anne Boleyn, and the second wife, and she married Henry at a very young age, but her past and perceived the disloyal behavior led to her execution. She was executed on February 1542 at the Tower of London on the charge of adultery. Like Anne Boleyn, her remains were buried buried in the capital of the Santo Peter and Venezuela. Her significance in Anglo's history, her execution due to accusation of adultery, demonstration the political dangers of the Count and Henry's increasing paranoia, and her story reflects the vulnerability of women in royal marriage. And the next wife is Catherine Parr. Catherine Parr, that she is Henry VIII and final wife, and is best known as his nurse and companion in his old age. She played a role in educating Henry's children and wrote religious books. And after Henry died, she remarried Thomas Seymour, but died on September 5, 1548 due to puerperal fever. And her significance in English history, she was the only wife who outlived Henry, helped raise Elizabeth I, and influenced the Protestant Reformation. Her writings make her one of the first English female author whose works were published. So I think that's all for me. Thank you for your attention.